What's up, everybody? We're back on a beautiful Thursday morning. Hope you guys are doing great.
What's going on, team?
Chris, both of us will be in different states.
Again, look at us, the traveling,
Travelers. We're world travelers.
or just
Not world, United States.
domestic travelers.
Domestic travelers.
That's right.
Shout out Delta.
Yeah, all right.
That's who we're traveling with.
I mean,
At least I don't know.
this episode isn't sponsored yet, but
Not sponsored yet. Just thanks for getting us there.
if you want to,
Yep. Great week so far. You'll be jamming out to
jamming out
You
to
want
T
some-
Swift
Taylor Swift. there
Friday
it is.
night.
Yeah.
Pretty pumped up about it.
Miami.
Oh yeah. Although it's not supposed to be that sunny down there.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of overcast, a little rain maybe.
Is there a
rain concert?
no I think they play concerts in the rain, but
Yeah.
is
they
it
do.
like is it an aftermath, I'm saying, of a hurricane?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, I heard that there was supposed to be another hurricane maybe there.
Jeez.
Like a smaller one. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Okay.
making that up. But I thought it was coming from the other side. But I mean, the good part is one, apparently like rain concerts are a thing with Swifties.
Oh, okay.
Like it's
That's like a thing.
special concert, yeah.
And
And then two, it where we're sitting or standing, have you ever seen a picture of
Hard Rock, it has like the top.
Yeah, it's like it's open in the middle, but it has like a overhang covering over a good portion of the seats.
Yeah.
I think we're under that. So like
So
it would be kind of sick if it's raining and we're like looking out. We're covered, but we can
Rain.
see the rain.
like a little drizzle, so it's just like,
And it's only like on Friday night, it's supposed to only rain for like, I don't know, an hour or so.
wow, it'll be fine.
Right around game time. But
Yeah. Game time.
Yep. So
There it is.
where are you going?
I'm on a work trip to Phoenix, so not as exciting.
Big timer.
But it's 97 degrees right now there, so it's very warm.
Ooh, nice.
Yep, so get a little sun, get a little heat, and then I'm back on Friday morning. So we'll out on
So
Thursday.
literally one day.
Yep, one day.
What's like the evening festivities they got?
Probably a happy hour somewhere. Nothing like extreme.
Okay.
It's just a little.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
There it is. But now back to what you guys care about, college football.
Your regularly scheduled programming.
Yep, that's what they said. College football, not a ton of shake-up, a little shake-up. Obviously, one of the big games, Oregon, Ohio State, came down to the wire.
That was a big game.
I will say this, it has now come out. Oregon's head coach did say that they purposefully put 12 guys on the field to take the penalty. Very smart play,
Smart for
kind
sure.
of a loophole. Do you think that entices them to change that ruling somehow?
Maybe, but
I guess I don't know how you change it. What did you put time back on the clock if they accept it? I don't know how you do.
Well, it would be what I would guess is it just acts as no play and they reset the clock back to what it was previously at.
Got it. And you don't get the penalty.
No, you get the penalty, but,
Okay.
but the time doesn't
Got
go
it.
off.
So you basically get the 5 yards, 10 yards, but you don't get the.
I think that's
The
5
6
yards,
seconds.
yeah. Correct.
Got it. Got it.
I mean, hey, that's just outsmarting your opponent. He's playing chess, not checkers.
Yeah, that's what they say. Great
Classic
play.
Ryan Day, being outsmarted
Yeah, did it to
by the
him.
other coach.
Yeah. Well, and then unfortunately, quarterback didn't really have the wherewithal to realize the time.
Is that just a
I don't know.
microcosm of Ohio State football the last couple of years? They just can't pull through in the big moments.
I guess you could say that. Yeah. I guess. I mean, they've always been dominant, but yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, but of all of their games, they don't have that many big moments. They're just more talented than a lot of the teams that they play, so like they win.
Yeah, well, I also will say on top of that, the Big Ten has never really been as strong as it is now. So like when you used to think of Big Ten, it was Ohio State was dominant. Now you look at it, when you add these teams, there's a lot of dominant teams, and Penn State's a very good team too. So you got Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State, all in the top 5.
Yeah,
So
strong top end. For
strong
sure.
top end. Yeah. Well, on top of that, so looking at the
Okay, so we had that game.
we had that game.
What other games?
Pretty sure there was a LSU good game, wasn't there?
LSU
Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss.
Yeah. I will say also
overtime.
Yeah, overtime. Ole Miss is also kind of one of those teams that seems to just kind of be in big games. LSU has really come back from being down
They lost their first game,
to
dude.
Florida State.
No.
No, not to Florida State. Who did they play?
I think that was last year.
That was last year. But who did they? They lost the game early.
It was like the first game, almost like the first notable game, maybe, other than Georgia and Clemson.
Yeah. Because they basically picked it back up. They're basically in the running now.
Let's see. USC.
That's what it was. Yeah, USC, who's fallen off a little bit. So yeah, if you. Loss.
To be fair, they didn't play anybody from USC until Ole Miss.
Yeah, they kind of went the opposite way of some teams, where some teams play their first 4 or 5 games as cakewalks. They do a hard game the first one,
and then
cakewalks, and then they get into SEC play.
Right, exactly.
So,
but that's a big win for them.
No,
Keeps
big
them
win.
alive.
Yeah, keeps them back in it. I mean, they got to play Alabama still coming up, so if you can beat Alabama, you have a chance.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You give yourself a chance, and I mean, there's 12 teams now, so
yep.
See what happens. I will say another big game, or we thought was going to be a big game. Maybe we didn't think it was necessarily going to be as close, but Texas-Oklahoma was a shellacking.
Yeah.
Texas 34-3. I mean, Oklahoma we knew's offense struggled just from previous games, but you thought during that rivalry you'd put up more than 3 points.
Their offense was miserable to watch.
Yeah.
They also had a lot of injuries.
Their whole wide receiving core was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that doesn't help.
Tough.
Young quarterback also doesn't help. Who doesn't? I would say my.
He's more of a runner, isn't he?
My view on him is that he doesn't seem confident in his throwing ability and reading the defense enough.
Okay.
And so he literally looks at the first person, maybe. If they're not open, then he'll go run.
Yep. It's I think that's a very...
Which happens probably a lot.
Which happens with a lot of, I think, freshmen
that are playing.
So quarterbacks or people that, they don't stand in the pocket for very long. Granted, it's a lot different than high school, and I think...
Especially when you're athletic as this guy.
Right, and I think it was even the same thing you saw with, for some NFL rookie quarterbacks, like Caleb Williams did the same thing. Now he's kind of settling in, like, hey, I can throw the ball.
Right.
Let those guys do the work. I don't have to do
point.
it. So, yeah, I definitely think it's interesting. I will say this. So, 8 out of the top 10 teams in the coaches poll are in the Big Ten or the SEC. I'm going to ask this question. Out of those 8,
Big Ten, the SEC.
Yeah. Out of those 8, which one do you think has the lowest chance to make the playoffs? I'm not saying all of them are going to make the playoffs or all not. Which one do you think has the lowest chance?
You want to give people a rundown of who the 8 teams are that we're talking about?
Yes, I will give you a rundown. So we got number 1, Texas.
Okay.
Obviously, and the SEC. Then we
want
got
to go SEC teams first?
Yes, we'll go SEC. So we have Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Tennessee.
Okay.
Then we have in the Big Ten, we have Penn State, or we have Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State. The 2 other teams are Clemson and Miami, which are in the ACC, ironically enough. So out of those 8, we're just talking Big Ten, SEC. Which teams do you think have the least likely chance to make it? If you had to say off the top.
I would say probably...
Because here's the thing about it is all 3 of those, the 3 Big Ten teams really don't have tough schedules moving forward. Besides they play each other. So like Ohio State plays Penn State, right? But besides that, so if Ohio State beats Penn State, they both go in with 1 loss. Oregon's undefeated. Those 3 teams could easily make a push for each other.
I mean, if Ohio State beats Penn State and that's Penn State's only loss and Ohio State doesn't lose the rest of the year, then...
They're in. Both in, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I saw some scenarios later, or earlier today that lead towards other teams making it, but...
Right.
I mean...
It's some far-fetched. I mean, there's a lot of things
that Ohio State will probably win most of those games.
Right.
If not all.
Oh,
I would say they probably win all of them.
I think all 3 of those Big Ten teams make it. My team was, I said this at the beginning, I still think Alabama does not make the college football playoff. You have at Alabama, you have
Alabama's playing at Alabama.
or Alabama's playing at Tennessee. You got Missouri at home. Sure, we've seen Missouri's bad. Then you have at LSU.
Uh-huh.
I think you lose one of those 3 games, and I think at that point, I don't know if you get in instead of those teams. I don't know. You might lose all 3.
What about Georgia?
Yeah, Georgia's tough too. They play at Texas this week.
At Texas, at Ole Miss, home against Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The hard part is this: is Tennessee has shown a lot of flaws, especially with the freshman quarterback. But Georgia's also, I don't know. I don't think they beat Texas, so that's 2 losses. And then if you slip up on another, I just don't think Georgia's offense is as good as people think. But I don't know.
I mean, Tennessee's the easy choice here.
Yeah,
They
100%.
play Alabama and Georgia,
Yeah,
and they already have 1 loss.
yeah. So they don't have any
So
real
that's
wiggle room.
3 losses.
Right.
They're out.
Yep.
Um,
They were one of my teams. I think LSU is fine because I think LSU, they do have back-to-back tough games. They play at Texas A&M and then home against Alabama. And Texas A&M is not an easy place to go.
no.
Which begs the question, Texas A&M is right on the edge too. They could sneak in too.
Yeah, but they also, I mean, LSU could lose both of those.
Yeah, if you lose, the hard part is there's probably going to be a team that has 2 losses that makes it.
That makes the playoffs.
Makes
for
the
sure,
playoffs,
for
yeah.
sure, for sure. I mean, it's very realistic to think that it's going to be 8 teams between the SEC and the ACC.
No, Big Ten, right?
Or sorry, the
Yeah.
SEC and the Big Ten.
Yep.
That's 8 teams. Then you have 2 teams from the ACC, 1 from another conference, and 1 from the Big 12.
Yep.
Like, it's very reasonable to think that that's going to be the breakdown. Because, I mean, you
Right.
even look at past just top 10, you got, well, I guess Notre Dame is sitting right there.
Yeah, they're sneaking in now.
But I think they play somebody challenging. They play Navy, and they play Army, and they play USC.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you imagine they go into the last game of the year at USC and they have to win to be in the playoffs?
Could.
At that point, I mean, you would probably argue that USC probably is out of the playoffs.
Wait, so
Right
how does
now.
Notre Dame make it?
They just have to be an at-large team.
Okay.
So they'd be in the 5 to 12 range.
Yep, so they can't be in it. Okay.
But even so, I mean, they literally play Navy and Army, and that's it.
Yeah.
And USC.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 I mean, they play Florida State, probably
Dog
a win.
water now.
Virginia, better than you might think, but that's probably a win. Georgia Tech, decent, but like, I mean, Notre Dame's got it set up nice for them. But
Yeah.
honestly, I could see if they lose 1 more, they're done.
Right. And also another team right below Notre Dame, Iowa State, undefeated right now. Really, their toughest matchups are
Iowa
at
State
Utah, the
and
second to
BYU.
last game, and Kansas State. I mean, they really don't have it. I mean, Utah's a tough team to play, especially on the road. Kansas State, obviously a very good team. So
Yeah, but
Iowa State could sneak in too.
I
And
mean,
BYU, yeah, one of those.
it'll be one of those 2. But the issue is, I don't think both of them can get in.
Right, no, because there's only one Big 12 team.
There's only going to be one Big 12 team because if they both go into the Big 12 championship game undefeated, then only one will obviously
Winner
be
goes.
undefeated and
Yeah.
one will have 1 loss, and I think that will drop them down far enough to be outside the top 12.
Yep, I agree.
So that means one.
And they're right next to each other, 12 and 13 on the coaches poll. So
Right, and there will be some mixing and matching, but the thing is, that's the issue. I mean, Ohio State lost to Oregon. They went from 2 to 5.
right,
You know, and so it's not like as the season keeps going, we expect these good teams to be losing to the random teams. You know,
Right.
like it might happen one time towards this beginning part, but like the likelihood that it happens as the year goes on, when it becomes closer and closer that they need to win the rest of their games to make the playoff or to get to their conference championship, then I think they figure it out.
yeah. I would say last week was week 7. I would say week 6 probably had the most dramatic changes that we'll see all year. You had teams dropping 10, 11 spots.
Yeah,
Eight,
Ole Miss
nine,
dropped
so-
7.
Yeah, and they
It's
even
last
played a
week.
ranked team, but it's just that, I don't know, we'll see. I mean, they still get to play, and they still have, it's the SEC, so a win will bump you up and a loss won't really bump you down as much.
They won't
Per
bump you
se.
down too far, no.
Yeah. So.
But I mean, all right. So we got Iowa State, BYU are the likely one of those. Maybe Kansas State.
Yep.
And then you've got Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
3 SEC teams right there.
Right there, yeah.
And then you got Boise State looking strong for that 5th automatic spot.
Right.
And then, I mean...
And the thing about Boise State is...
I didn't realize Pittsburgh was undefeated, too.
Yeah, Pitt's very good. Their quarterback loves to sling it.
That green guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then it's like you look at Boise State's schedule, they really shouldn't lose. I mean, you don't have a tough schedule. Your hardest game was Oregon. You played them close.
Yeah.
Now you go through, you got a Heisman potential candidate. You should go out and win.
Oh, Pitt's for sure not going to be undefeated very long. They play Syracuse. Wagon. I love Syracuse.
You got to find your teams.
I mean,
Is it at Syracuse?
they sling it. No,
You got to go too smooth. You got to play Clemson at Louisville. Not a bad team. Yeah, they've definitely.
Boston College is also slightly underrated. They lost a few games, but
I will say this:
they're
they've
not
had well, they were ranked at one point,
yeah.
and I will say they've had a cakewalk schedule so far. I mean, Cal's not a bad team, but North Carolina's
West
dog water.
Virginia's
West
okay.
Virginia's okay. Yeah, Cincinnati. Yeah. I don't know.
This
We'll
is
see.
Pitt.
But I will say this: looking back now, this team is not even ranked. I think Utah is done for.
Oh my gosh.
I will say this:
They might have been worse with Rising.
he's horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I know that. Okay, sure, he's got all this potential. He was horrible.
Yeah.
He did not look like he knew what football. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
He should have been benched.
That would have been something.
I mean, he
They
should
wait
have
so
been
long for him
benched.
to come back, and then
See ya. We don't actually want you to play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
see
real.
you, buddy.
That was poor.
So-
Poor effort by him.
So it makes it tough.
Put them in the depressed category.
100% if that's what we're getting to.
Yep.
They were in my depressed category. Do we want to start with the bad first?
Yep, we do.
Okay,
So
so
what else you got?
I got Ole Miss.
Okay.
I was just not very happy. I mean, this is the thing is I think Ole Miss just has to win those close games and take the next step. I think they have the talent. They obviously have a very good coach, quarterback, wide receivers elite.
Coach pretty good too.
Coach is good, but I just always am disappointed in them, and so it's just how it goes.
Okay.
I will say my last team,
Mhm.
they didn't lose, but Alabama.
Okay.
You give up the touchdown at the end. You almost give up a 2-point conversion to tie the game. And then you give up an onside kick,
Mm-hmm.
and they almost go down and score to win. It's just the last few weeks have been tough for Alabama. That's at home against a terrible South Carolina team.
Yeah, South Carolina not great.
So
But I think South Carolina beat Kentucky, who beat.
no, who played Georgia pretty well. They did beat Kentucky early on.
Yeah, they cakewalked them.
Yeah, 31-6.
But then who did Kentucky?
Lost to Georgia.
Oh, they
beat Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And lost to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a
Ole Miss.
surprising team too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know LeBron, but
You
those
got
are my
any
teams.
other depresses?
No.
Obviously Utah.
Yeah.
Tennessee not impressed this last
No.
week.
The last few weeks.
They almost lost to Florida, who is
Bad.
very mediocre.
I think Florida lost their quarterback too.
No, they when Graham Mertz got hurt at the beginning of the year, I think it was the first game.
Oh, this DJ guy?
Then DJ Lagway played,
Yeah.
and then after that, literally the next game, they went into it knowing that Lagway was going to play every third series. So it would be Mertz for 2, Lagway for 1. Mertz for 2, Lagway for 1. The problem is Mertz is a throwing quarterback,
Yeah.
pocket passer.
He's a very accurate quarterback.
Lagway, literally the most athletic quarterback you could probably find in the country.
Yeah.
So you're going from pocket passer for 2 drives to then a running quarterback for the next drive. And then pocket passer and then running quarterback. It's
Right.
like you can't just all switch these so like rigidly.
Right. No, 100%. And I also think at the
Crazy.
same time, it's hard to get in a rhythm knowing you're only going to play every
Yeah.
third possession.
Yeah.
Um,
It's weird that you would like be so forthright in saying that's the plan.
yeah, this is also a coach that
Makes
probably
no
should be
sense.
gone.
Hey, I mean, he's here for now.
Yeah. I will say Tennessee's quarterback, I know he's only a freshman, but he's just not playing up to the level I think a lot of people expected him to
Started
play.
strong against
Started strong.
against the.
Now you play the SEC
Cakewalk.
teams and it's a little different.
That was my Utah.
Utah, Tennessee.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about on the other side, the teams that impressed Chris?
Impressed. I was pleased to see that Oregon was able to win a hard game.
Yep.
I think whoever won that game was going to be a team that was like, okay, we might be onto something. Like, you have kind of a notch in your belt.
Yep, 100%.
Like, all right, they're legit.
Well, it gives you kind of the confidence. I mean, you're 6-0. You just beat one of, if not the hardest opponent in the Big Ten. Obviously, you can put Penn State up there, but I mean, you're now like, okay, you kind of have, you don't obviously plan to lose, but if you lose now to Penn State, you're like, okay, we've lost one time.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And you obviously have a great win on your resume.
Yep. My next one, BYU.
Mm-hmm. The boys.
I mean,
we did not think they were very good.
I don't think Arizona is quite as good as we had originally thought.
I think they came out firing the same way. The first game, and their wide receiver had like X amount of yards.
Yeah.
And everyone's
that
like,
first game.
This guy is unbelievable. And now it's like, all right, these guys are...
They're probably a little above average, but like not anything crazy. But I mean, BYU, they were underdogs against Baylor, I remember. That was nuts.
Yeah.
And then they were up 28-0 right away.
And they came close.
They keep winning.
Yeah, it became close, but it was, schlacking.
It's pretty impressive. Clemson keeps going.
Yeah, I would say you could throw Clemson now, turn it around.
They literally are. They're like,
but they're
fully
just
back.
But their running back is good. Their quarterback's playing well. Like they're
crazy.
scoring.
Yeah,
they don't like they score on every possession.
Pretty much, it seems. I'll stop there. I had one potentially other one, but I want to let you go.
Well, my only other one was, I mean, Texas looked very good. We talked about them at the beginning of the episode.
But Quinn Ewers looked bad.
I will say this: watching Quinn Ewers play, like I know he's very good, and I know he's going to be probably a high draft pick. He just looks like it's so nonchalant. Like these throws he's making, he just kind of throws it. So like when it goes incomplete, you're like, dude, step into your throw and throw the ball.
He had Isaiah Bond wide open for a 70-yard touchdown, and he completely missed him.
Yeah.
This is towards the beginning of the game. Like, if he literally would have thrown a decent ball, it would have at least been a 40-yard catch.
Yeah.
And if he would have thrown a good one that was, like, on target, touchdown for sure. And it was, like, 60, 70 yards.
Well, and that's the difference, too.
And it was an incomplete pass.
I will say what's crazy is you look at that, and it's like, it was the same thing when Georgia played Alabama, and everyone was talking about Carson Beck, where they were like, this guy's the potential first overall pick, top 10 pick, whatever it is. It's like these throws, the receiver is making the play. That ball is underthrown by 10 yards. In the NFL, that does not get caught.
Right.
It might even get picked off.
Yep.
And so it's like, that's what's crazy to me is I know these guys are talented, but it's just like, I don't know. There just seems like there's a huge distinction between the sides. So obviously great player, obviously leading that team. It just is, I mean, I don't know. Oklahoma's not a very good team, so we'll see what happens.
Oklahoma.
Now you play a great defense in Georgia. We'll see.
Yeah, now we'll find some things out.
Yep. Did you have one more you said?
Colorado was impressive. Losing a lot of their offensive playmakers, and they're still able to score at the end and keep it close.
Yeah, fight back, and obviously losing a one-score game is not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I agree.
We got games for this week.
Yeah, big games this week. You got Alabama, Tennessee. Going to Tennessee, we just talked about this. If Alabama wins that one, kind of put their name back in the hat for sure. If they lose, I think they're, see ya.
Yep.
Another one, obviously the one we've been talking about, Georgia at Texas. I mean, Texas obviously the number one team. Georgia has been the number one team for the last 3 years.
Yep.
So that'll be a good game. And the last one, I do think Illinois, Michigan. I know it's a boring Big Ten game. Okay. But Michigan is now number 24. Their quarterback stinks. I do think they will be unranked at the end of this year. They're actually favorites going to Illinois. Both teams have one loss in the Big Ten. Kind of a mover game. So we'll see.
We got a few close spreads with the away team being the favorites. Like right around 3 points.
LSU.
Kansas State, -3 at West Virginia. Yeah, LSU, -2.5 at Arkansas, which I will just say, I think that's low-key a game that Arkansas might be able to snag.
Yeah, it's kind of a trap game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is kind of a trap game. It's one of those where it's like, I don't know. It was kind of like the same thing. Where it was, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, where Michigan was going to Washington, and they were like 2.5-point favorites, but they were on the road, and it was like,
and then Washington just absolutely smashed them.
Yeah, beat them, and it's like that's kind of just a trap game, but
yeah,
should be a close
Michigan
game.
-3 at Illinois, Alabama -3 at Tennessee. I mean,
Kansas State at West Virginia.
Miami -4.5 at Louisville.
That'll be a good game, I think. That actually is a very good game. Louisville obviously being ranked
Look at
at
that.
one point. So
A lot of teams that are less than 5-point favorites, but on the road.
yep, on the road. So we'll see.
Okay.
That's all I got for college football.
Well, let's move to NFL then.
NFL, we got a big one, week 6. Well, week 5. Week 6. Week 6. Takeaways. You know what there was again? There was another scoregami.
Oh, I love it.
Detroit, Dallas, 47-9. Detroit smoked them.
47-9.
That game was never close. Dallas stinks. They're done. And I will say this. I always think it's funny. There's been reports now where Jerry Jones went on like podcasts or was interviewed by people and he was getting pissed off because all these people were like calling him out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dog, do you not realize that like people are pissed because A, you barely spent any money in the offseason.
Yep.
You held out for half your guys. Then you put the bag on 2 guys. Don't get me wrong, CeeDee Lamb, elite. Dak Prescott, okay, he's a pretty good quarterback. But now you look at what teams are doing, and CD every single game looks like he's pissed off. Because teams are doubling him, teams are tripling him. It's like the same thing we talked about early on in the season. It's when you only have one playmaker, and Jake Ferguson's good.
Uh-huh.
He's a good receiver. But when you only have really
He
one
didn't do much
receiver,
this week.
no, and they don't have a running game.
Mhm.
So it's like you can't run, you can't do play action, and once you get behind, I mean, the Lions just stomped on them, and they kept going. I love that. Throwing a touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown when you're up 40-7 or 40-9, just putting the stamp just is electric.
We probably could have gone without that though.
Well, some of us could fantasy wise. It just wasn't meant to be. But I'm just saying that is literally like I love that. Don't kneel. Don't take out your starters. Go, baby. Run up the score.
Yeah, they were plenty far ahead.
I will say the hard part about that game for the Lions is you lose Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Probably a bigger loss than that. So
Huge loss.
Yep. Guess we'll see.
Oofta. Yeah, hate to see that.
Yeah, you hate to see it. A lot of teams didn't look very good this past weekend, so we'll see if week 6 or week 7 has anything better in store.
What team looked the worst to you?
I think the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm surprised that Jacksonville Jaguars head coach has not been fired.
I mean, they're in London.
Yeah, well, they did to Robert Sala.
Yeah, but they
On the
were,
way home.
they were coming back.
So you're saying give it one more week if they
they're still there.
if they lose to the Patriots, he has to be done. I'm sorry, you have to be done. Trevor Lawrence has not looked very good. ETN hasn't finished a game. You have a decent. I mean, your wide receivers.
You can't be mad that he hasn't finished a game.
No, but
he keeps getting hurt.
100%. But what I'm saying is your defense has the worst in the league.
Yeah, the defense is terrible.
Defense is terrible. You have good weapons. Like you give up 35 points to the Bears. Granted, the Bears look decent too. I don't know.
So does that mean Drake May's in for a good game this
weekend? They're talking about it. People are talking about it. He's on a waiver wire pickup. People are like, pick up Drake May.
I mean, that's aggressive.
Exactly. But I think that game this Sunday should be an absolute disaster of a game.
So you're saying if you want to wake up, you're not going to miss it.
If you want to wake up at 8:30 and just snooze and watch the game, sure. But that game, not my favorite. Also, another team I think that looked horrible, Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, they have not been figuring it out lately.
So I'll give you a stat, Chris.
Okay.
Kyler Murray, quarterback rating when he's playing at home, 110.
Very good.
One of the best in the league.
What's it go up to?
I think it goes up to 106. No. Is it 116? 130?
No, I think it's 140.
Okay.
It's some
mid-140s.
It's some odd number. It's like 142.9 or something like that.
Is perfect QB rating. 158.
158.3. 158.3.
So he is averaging 110 at home. On the road, 87.
Yeah. You gotta improve on the road.
Or you gotta play better. I mean, I understand Packers are a good team, and also the weather was crazy. It just they don't look good. Like, he just doesn't look good. Like, he's just the scrambling around and Marvin Harrison gets hurt, unfortunate. But it's like, get Trey McBride the ball. This guy's a legend. They tried. Get him in the end zone.
They got him the ball a lot.
It's just like, come on.
He had 8 receptions.
You had to. If you don't have Marvin Harrison Jr., every throw should go to Trey McBride.
He had 8 receptions for 96 yards.
I'm just telling you, that they need to be better. And the Cardinals they're not good. Not good. But those are my 2 teams I thought
just under half of his yards.
As he should.
Look at this.
Well, who's the second guy? Dean Mercado?
Yeah,
the running back.
Backup, the 3rd string running back.
Yeah. James Conner did get banged up a little bit, so I can understand that, but it's bad.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they stink. They stink.
Yeah, they're not looking great lately.
So, those are my teams that I just thought looked god-awful. Also, I will say this. We're going back to Thursday night football. Seahawks 49ers, and this 49ers looked okay. They looked good. Turnovers, great. Well, what doesn't make sense to me if you're the Seahawks is Geno Smith leads the league in passing yards per game. He also leads in passing attempts per game.
Okay.
The first half, they had one possession
Yep.
that they did not run the ball on first down. They ran it every single time to Kenneth Walker.
Get the ball to your best player.
I'll read a statistic for you. Kenneth Walker had 32 yards rushing total on 14 carries. That's average of 2.3. So you might as well just say, we'll take 2nd and 8. We'll take that. Now 1st and 10, just move us to 2nd and 8. Brutal.
I mean, why not?
Geno Smith still threw the ball 52 times. That's because on the last 3 possessions, he only threw it.
Yeah.
But it was a little too late. So we'll see. Any teams, Chris, on your end that you just didn't do it for you?
Raiders, they're terrible.
And they just got rid of Devontae. This begs the question. Talked about this off air. Breaking news, Devontae Adams. Not breaking news, but news. Break Devontae Adams to the Jets.
Breaking news this week.
Yeah, to the Jets. We had talked about this before.
We're going to find out the real answer.
Yep. Pretty good chance his hamstring is fine.
Hamstring good, hamstring bad.
Yeah, so.
If it's good and he plays this Sunday, we called it.
We did call it. Big game at Pittsburgh Sunday night.
Yep.
Obviously, already has the connection with
And
Aaron Rodgers.
on the other side, Steelers.
Yeah.
You saw the report.
Yeah. Potential Russell Wilson.
Likely Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Right? Likely. Which is kind of crazy to me.
That would hurt you.
Would hurt. But at the same time, I will say this. What is kind of crazy about that is I understand Justin Fields hasn't been fantastic. You're 4-2. You are 4-2.
I mean,
hey, you gotta play who you gotta play. You're
Yeah.
4-2.
you want to run through the schedule?
I will say this: no, I don't. Falcons, Broncos. Okay.
Chargers. They lost to the Colts. They lost to the Cowboys, which is looking like a bad loss.
That's a bad loss.
And then they beat the Raiders.
Yeah. Okay. Falcons are decent.
This was on Kirk Cousins with one leg.
Yeah. I'm just
The
saying.
first week.
I will say
Kirk
this:
Cousins couldn't move.
if I am Russell Wilson, though, I don't want to come back this week. I don't want to play the Jets defense. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't either.
So just take another week off. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine. Then you get to play the Giants at home.
Giants, Commanders, bad defenses.
So, but we'll see. See what they say.
We'll see.
See if he's healthy enough. So, also other breaking news this week: Amari Cooper, Browns shipped him off to the Bills. The Bills now have a number 1 wide receiver. I think what we've seen, Bills' offense is okay, but they do need a wide receiver like that.
You gotta have somebody to throw the ball to.
Yeah, Keon Coleman ain't really doing it. Shakir's been kind of hurt. Dalton Kincaid's very good.
Shakir's good, but not good when he's your best option.
He's a great number 2.
Yeah.
I think. So
yeah, I'd say he's a good number 2.
He's a good number 2. He's solid.
Yeah, maybe not into the great category.
Also, what happened last week, week 6,
Okay.
there was a handful of concussions injuries.
Hate that.
Do you think it would become more? They have tried out this new helmet that kind of looks goofy. I get it.
The
Guardian cap. Some people do wear them. Do you think there will be something by next year that they're like, all right, you're required to wear something or do something? Or do you think it's just part of the game?
I mean,
I know it's a contact sport, but this is foreshadowing to my next point, but I'll let you answer this one first.
I don't think that they'll require people
Anybody?
to wear anything.
Okay.
I think I have seen more and more people start to wear those guardian caps.
Yeah, what's more obvious now?
And the other thing is, I can't remember who it was, but they had just come back from a concussion and they were wearing a guardian cap, which if I had to guess, I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, before they had the concussion, they weren't wearing it.
Yep.
So it could be a thing where it's like you're playing, no, nothing on the helmet, and then you get a concussion, and then you come back and you put the guardian cap on as like an extra precaution, because
Like a layer.
obviously if you get one, you come back and get another one. That's not good.
Yeah, and it's probably like you're probably done for more than just 1 week.
Yep.
And
probably.
especially for some of these guys, I mean, some of these guys go to the concussion protocol and it's like, okay, I'm okay. But it usually takes 1 week, but nowadays it's probably should sit out a little bit more. That goes to my next question though. The NFL is very much a contact sport.
Okay.
And if anyone watched Monday night, we saw one of the plays that probably frustrates a lot of people. A quarterback gets sacked with the ball in his hands
That was very
by a
frustrating.
defensive lineman and gets called for roughing the passer.
Yeah, it was very frustrating.
That makes no sense to me. And I know we've talked about this before, probably one of the earlier seasons. It makes no sense. So it's a 15-yard penalty. It's not like, I get it if you slam him to the ground. But the whole remark of, well, he dropped his body weight. I'm going full speed. What am I supposed to do?
I don't even know if he
didn't do anything. That was a normal tackle.
Yeah, he didn't put his body weight on the guy.
The worst part about it is they show a clip of Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, literally, you could see him mouthing going, tough call. Probably not the right call, tough call. And it's like,
tough call.
it just, I don't get it. And it always seems like some of these players get those calls. Mahomes,
I mean,
Rodgers. And it's just like, I'm not trying to tackle him aggressively, but at some point, that's my job.
right?
And then you see sometimes where the game comes where it's like, these guys don't actually tackle the quarterback because they're worried about getting a penalty. So they like try to wrap him up and then the quarterback escapes and runs.
Yeah, when does that happen?
That happened didn't it happen with the Bengals?
Yeah, Giants guy.
Yeah. He like ran into him and it was like that most awkward, like runs into him.
It was like a belly bump.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, Joe Burrow runs and throws it for 30 yards.
Yep.
So I do think they need to figure out if you body slam them and you do all that stuff, sure. But these are 300-pound men. It's a contact sport. Sorry.
Yep.
So we'll see.
I agree.
Next thing I got for you,
Okay.
test you and see what you feel.
Yep.
So we're talking a little fantasy football.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 3 players at each position. Running back. I just did quarterback, running back, wide receiver. You have to just tell me if at the end of the year you think one of these 3 players will be the top scoring player at that position.
Okay.
Okay? So quarterback, we got Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Jaden Daniels.
Is this a yes or no?
It's either you're taking them 3 or the field.
Oh.
So do you think Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, or Jaden Daniels will be the number 1 fantasy quarterback at the end of this year?
Yeah, I would pick that group.
That group?
Yeah, versus the field.
Versus the field. All right. Running back.
Is that who you take?
Yeah, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be it. But, I mean, obviously there's injuries, there's buys, whatever. But running back, we got Derrick Henry, Saquon, and Alvin Kamara. This one was a little tougher, I think.
I think yes.
Okay.
I would take those 3.
Take those 3. All right.
I feel pretty good about it.
I feel good. I mean, Derrick Henry's looked unreal. There's a chance that Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson finish as the ones in their positions on the same team.
Very possible.
So now we have wide
Did
receivers.
you take that group?
I did. I think Derrick Henry.
All right.
So wide receivers. Chris Godwin, Jamar Chase, Jaden Reed.
Wait, go back to the beginning.
Chris Godwin.
Beast.
Okay.
Who's the last one?
Jamar Chase and Jaden Reed.
Also beast.
Do you think one of those 3 will be the top number 1 scoring player at the wide receiver position, or do you think it will be the field?
I would take the field.
I would take the field too. That one is almost more obvious.
I don't know.
Jaden Reed, I
It
think
could
is
be
going to
Chris
fall off.
Godwin, baby.
Chris Godwin's great. I mean, it's kind of interesting. You see Godwin here with Baker Mayfield,
Yep.
Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. So there it is. Jaden Reed's also very good. It's just, I don't know. But do you guys, people like, at some point, CD probably has a big game. Jettas is
I
up there.
hope.
Jettas is there. Somebody, I mean, you got
Jets
guys.
is close. Who else is probably up there?
No, I like the first picks. Tyreek, no.
Well, AJ Brown would be, but he was hurt.
Right?
Nico got hurt. He was number one.
Yep. Drake London's up there. Diggs, Garrett Wilson. Malik Neighbors was also up there.
He was up there, yep. He got
So-
hurt.
I mean, the thing that's crazy is you look at the top two guys, they're about 30, 40 points ahead of the next few. Well, could happen. CD is due for a big game. Jettas is obviously continuing to roll, so we'll see.
Yep.
That's all I got on the fantasy outlook. Good luck if you have any. Some of us have two of those players.
Some of us have a lot of them.
And we have nothing
Keep
to show.
losing.
We have nothing to show.
We keep losing for sure.
But yeah.
You got a game to watch this weekend?
Game to watch. I think it's a very intriguing matchup. You have
You only get one game.
One?
One game that you are at the top of the list. And, well, I'll give you two if one of them is the Patriots Jaguars.
I'll take one then.
Okay.
I'll take one, and I'm gonna go with. Wow, there's a lot of good games actually. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs at the 49ers.
All right.
Obviously, Chiefs undefeated going to the 49ers. 49ers rematch Super Bowl. I think they have something to come out and prove. They've already lost twice. This is almost not necessarily a must win, but you win this game, you're back in the talks of this team's Super Bowl contenders. Obviously, Niners. Yeah, it really does depend. I mean, if Jordan Mason can play, he has a joint sprain or AC sprain, AC joint. So apparently he's already.
That is?
It's in your shoulder.
Nice.
Yeah. Apparently he's already practicing. Apparently it's not as serious as they think, but
Okay.
we'll see. I mean, that's a big game. 1.5 point favorites.
He's already practicing. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah, they did a walkthrough practice Monday because they played Thursday. So they practiced Monday.
Wow.
Yeah. He had a no contact jersey on, but he is practicing.
Okay.
We'll see. Kind of need him. Your game?
Wait, do you think the 49ers cover?
I actually do think the 49ers take care of business and win that game.
Yeah.
I do.
I would probably pick the Chiefs on that one.
Well, we'll see.
Lions, Vikings.
Yeah, that was an obvious one.
For sure. I mean, that's literally the two best teams in the NFC.
Yeah, this is for the top.
So, we'll see. The NFC North is quite a bit better than probably every division in football lately.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I think it's nuts. I think it's kind of turned. I mean, as a Vikings fan, you kind of wish the Bears would fall off.
You would. I do wish that every day.
You kind of do wish, but they're obviously not doing well.
Two
And
losses, 4-2.
Packers 4-2.
Lions 4-1.
Lions 4-1. The hard part is
Vikes at 5.
it's very tough with the Vikes. You just, I mean, at some point we'll just ride the train. But
Get on. Let's run the
you
right
know,
train, baby.
yeah. Also, a very interesting game will be the Texans at the Packers.
Yeah, that's the honorable mention for us combined.
Yeah, honorable mention.
That's all we
It's
get.
a good game. I mean, it should be a good game. That's a good two really good offenses.
Yep.
And so, Commanders, Panthers.
I also like seeing the higher over unders. Give us the points.
Yeah,
Let's get entertained while watching these games.
Falcons, Seahawks 52.
Yeah, love it.
We might have another shoddy Thursday night football game, unfortunately, with
Yeah.
Saints Broncos, but
We don't need to talk about that.
nope, that's not one of our games.
If you got plans on Thursday, not missing much.
If you got plans on Thursday, go to your plans.
Yeah.
Do your plans.
Yeah, don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Yep.
So, that's all I got.
All right, David. That's all I have too.
Enjoy. Peace.
What the heck?
Oh, where did it cut out at?